and gentlemen, you're currently on hold for the UFC 202 conference call. At this time, we are admitting additional participants and should be underway momentarily. We do thank you for your patience and ask that you please continue to stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, you're currently on hold for the UFC 202 conference call. At this time, we are admitting additional participants and should be underway momentarily. We do thank you for your patience and ask that you please continue to stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, you're currently on hold for the UFC 202 conference call. At this time, we are admitting additional participants and should be underway momentarily. We do thank you for your patience and ask that you please continue to stand by.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the UFC 202 conference. Today's program is being recorded. I would now like to hand things over to Dave Scholler. Please go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Lisa. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm excited to be here for the UFC 202 media conference call, UFC 202, Saturday, August 20th at the new T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's one of the most anticipated rematches of all time as Nate Diaz takes on Conor McGregor. Both gentlemen are on the call today, and with that, Lisa, let's go ahead and get out to questions.
Everyone, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *1 on your touch-tone telephone. Again, that is *1 if you have a question. We'll take Jeffrey Harris, 411 Mania MMA.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. First question for Conor. Conor, I know this fight got pushed back from UFC 200, but has the delay been helpful to you on any level in getting on top of your training and maybe sharpening up anything for this fight?
Well, it was a mess when that all happened, when that 200 fell out, but I got what I had asked for. I wanted time. I wanted time to prepare correct, and that's it. Nate has been doing the run on the shows, and I've been chilling in Cabo on the yacht. So I got what I asked.
And second question, for what your role was going to be in Triple X2, we know Michael Bisping is in the movie now. Was that role originally meant for you, and have you spoken to Bisping and maybe taken partial ownership of that role? It's because of me you have that role and you were so relaxed going off that set to win the UFC title?
Yeah, I should get a cut. I didn't even get a thank you off Bisping. That was my role, yeah. I met with the guy before the Aldo fight. The director came out, him and his little team came out, and we spoke, and I said, yeah, I'll do the film. And then after the last fight, I rang him up, and I said, listen, I can't go into this film because it's not something I'm trying to do right now. I need to get that win back. I need to go focus and do what got me here in the first place. So I disengaged from the film altogether. That was a 7-figure deal that I turned down so I could prepare for this fight. Bisping myself and Bisping are managed by the same people. Bisping scooped up the role, he got it, and that was that. So I just let that go. This is more important to me. I've said it before. I'm not in this for show business. This is the fight business I am in here, and that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to do none of this other shit.
Our next question is from Damon Martin, Fox Sports.
Question for Conor. Conor, I know that for this camp, you guys have brought in a lot of different training partners, and John Cavanaugh told me you guys have specifically trained for Nate, which is something you've never done before. How much different do you feel going into this rematch, than you did, obviously, the first fight on 10 days' notice, but how much better do you feel for this rematch?
I feel absolutely amazing. I've prepared phenomenal. I didn't give enough credit to Nate's durability. His experience. He's a very experienced fighter. He's had more UFC fights than I've had fights. Also his height and his range and his reactions. I gave no respect to that. I marched forward, and in fairness, for the first 2 rounds, for the first round and a half, he was a heavy bag with eyeballs. So I was correct in that, but his durability held out. His experience held out for him. So this time, I've been preparing for that. I've been preparing to face a durable, experienced fighter who has the reach, the height, and the length, and that's it. So I feel very confident that we will go in and get this win back and put this man away.
For the last fight, you made the prediction. I believe you said it would be a first-round finish. Obviously, you did have a dominant first round, but then things went the way they did in the second round. What kind of a prediction are you making for this fight? Do you believe it will be a much longer fight?
Yeah, I think I just got into that, just saying I was going to stop the guy in the first round. If I really looked at it, I thought, he has a solid chin. He's durable, very experienced. He has the size and the weight on me. I think that was the wrong thing to go in expecting the first round, and I did go out to KO him in the first round. Nobody can say that. I marched forward and backed him up against the fence and peed off on his head. I did what I said I would do, but respect to him, he stuck it out. He was durable. He was experienced. He weathered the storm. But this time, I will be. I'm still going to march forward. I'm still going to press him. I'm still going to bust him. There's just going to be a lot more in my tank. I'm just going to I'm going to be a lot more prepared for a man that can stay in there with me. So, but even still, I struggle to give him past round 3. If I was to make a prediction, which I will right now, I believe I will repay the favor and KO him inside the second round.
And last question, Connor. Obviously you came into the UFC and immediately made your goal to go after the featherweight title. You fought Chad Mendez, you won the title. Obviously, you knocked out Jose Aldo. Both of those are very big moments. But would you say this rematch with Nate is the biggest fight of your career to this point?
Yeah, 100%. They're all saying, "Oh, why didn't you go down and defend the belt?" And this. Realistically, I should be a 2-weight UFC world champion. If I fought Rafael dos Anjos, if he didn't pussy out of that last one and showed up, the shots I cracked Nate in the first 8 minutes of that round would have KO'd Rafael dos Anjos stiff. That's no question. I would be sitting here right now as a 2-weight world champion, but I don't dwell on that. I'm happy that this happened because it forced me to look at my preparation, look at the route I was going. It forced me to reassess. So I'm happy that this happened. But make no mistake, this one means a hell of a lot to me. This one means more than any amount of gold or money combined. I gave up a hell of a lot of money. I gave up opportunities, Hollywood opportunities for this contest. I didn't want to show up to do, I wanted to restrict media. I wanted to solely focus on this. So that should tell you how much this fight means to me, and I've been preparing accordingly.
Thanks very much, Connor.
Thank you.
Up next is Jack in Carnical of the Boston Herald.
Thanks very much. This question is for Nate. Nate, we have a pretty good idea why Connor wants this fight. Why do you want this fight again?
Because I'm not, like I said before, I've been fighting everybody in the UFC, been fighting forever. So if I'm going to fight, it's going to be for a big deal fight, not just a fight, I think that it's time. Like I was ahead of everybody as far as a following in the UFC. I was the biggest draw, I was the biggest everything in every weight class. And then Connor came around, and then he was the biggest draw. He was getting a big push. Everybody was all about the UFC was Conor McGregor. So if I'm gonna fight somebody, it's gonna be something that's a big deal, not just a funny fight, just a fight. Because I can make just as much money outside of the ring as in the ring. So why am I going to sit around? So if I'm going to get a big payday and I'm going to have a big fight, then I'll fight. If not, then I'm not going to fuck around no more.
Thanks, Nate. Thank you. Connor, a question for you. On the jiu-jitsu side of the game, can you give us any insight into how you're attacking that? What you thought would be the solution for the outcome of that first fight in terms of the ground?
Yeah, I'm confident in my jiu-jitsu. I don't think. I mean, Nate is very skilled on the mat. I don't think the difference between us in that fight was the jiu-jitsu. I think it was the durability, the endurance, the experience. I think that was the difference. I mean, when we were both fresh, I ended up on the mat. He cut that kick. He done that takedown he does, and I swept him. So I was on top, controlled in the first round. He tried a triangle. I stopped that. Looked at pass. He looked at tangle up the legs, and I was landing shots. I am confident on the mat with Nate. And then after that, I've brought in heavier people, more experienced jiu-jitsu people to come and push me daily. So I will be experienced for the jiu-jitsu in the later rounds also.
Now, can you help us understand kind of how you see your career and how you see your reputation in the sport and why it's vital to that to beat Nate Diaz, to not just move back to 145 or go campaign to 155? Why is it essential to have this rematch?
Just the way it all came about. Look, when people look back on my career, I'm just a kid that came from nothing and done it, went all the fucking way, you know what I mean, and showed up every time. Showed up to fight every time. There's a lot of pussies in this game. I've said it before. A lot of people that claim they want to fight and they want to do this and they want to do that, but they don't do jack shit. I bring it every time, and I'm not afraid of no challenges. And that's it. That's how my career will be remembered. A guy that showed up to fight every single time.
And finally, for you, as you progressed in your stardom and your bargaining leverage, you worked a lot with Lorenzo when it came to negotiating deals and things like that. Now that the company's been sold and Lorenzo's stepping out of his position, are you wondering kind of what the future looks like
No, I'm not wondering. I'm plotting. You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting back, working hard, and I'm plotting. So that's what I'm at right now. I mean, much respect to the Fertitta family. I mean, you want to talk the greatest of all time in the fight game. You're talking the Fertittas, Mr. White, and Mr. McGregor. You know, that's it. We came in here and they brought the sport from nothing to something, and I brought it up to a four billion price tag. You know, 2015 was the biggest year for the company. It raised it from what it was estimated at $2 billion. Now, then it was sold for $4 billion. I mean, that's a you don't see a play like that ever. You're never going to see a play like that ever again in your life. So, much respect for what they've done. It has been an honor to fight under this Fertitta regime, and you know, who knows what the future holds. I don't know what their involvement is anymore. I haven't really spoke too much on it. Like I said, I just distance myself from all of that other stuff for now because I've got a fight on my hands. I've got a heavy bag with eyeballs that can take one hell of a smack. So I'm about to give him one hell of a smack. So that's all I'm focused on right now. But I am still plotting in the wings, and we will wait and see what happens.
Thanks, everybody.
Once again, everyone, it is *1 if you have a question. Up next is Justin Barrasso, Sports Illustrated.
Thank you. Both Nate and Connor. Connor, question for you. I'll start with you. With the success of UFC 200 and the cross-promotion between UFC and WWE with Brock Lesnar, who fared extremely well despite amid much popularity, I mean, there's no bigger fighter in the game than Conor McGregor. Do you have plans to ever continue that cross-relationship and go to WWE?
You know, I haven't really thought about it. For the most part, those WWE guys are pussies. To be honest, they're messed up pussies, if you ask me. I mean, fair play to Brock, he got in and fought, but at the end of the day, he's juiced up to the fucking eyeball. So how can I respect that? What's the other guy? The other guy, he hasn't fought yet, so I don't know about him yet. But I mean, there's some dons in that wrestling game. I mean, the McMahons, they're dons. Triple H is a don. The Rock is a don, but the rest of them are pussies, man. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. Again, that's a little bit more show business. So this is the fight business.
On that note, with the fight business, I know that you mentioned you kind of came from nowhere and turned yourself into one of the greatest fighters, literally, to ever step in the octagon. You fed off doubt your entire career. Did that at all help you? Losing the first fight, I mean, obviously, has it given you more of an edge coming into the rematch, or it wouldn't have mattered either way because you're ready to go too?
Sorry, could you repeat that again, please?
Of course. The fact you fed off doubt your entire career. Does the fact that you lost the fight give you an extra edge this time around, or win or lose, it wouldn't have mattered? You've got that drive that would have pushed you forward either way.
Yeah, you know, I'm an expert at adaptation and overcoming adversity. I've been doing it my whole life, and I've faced many defeats in all forms of fighting, not just MMA, but in everything. So, and I've always come back stronger. So, I mean, we win or we learn. That's what my coach John says, and that's what we do. I feel I have grown as a fighter. I've gained some valuable experience. You know, usually when I go in, I tip them, they go down. That's it. My division, I killed them. Check my record: 3.5 second knockouts. Want to be accurate? But they knocked out all the way 11 seconds if you want to be accurate. I have 16-second knockouts on my record. When I hit them, they fall. So it was nice to go in there and face a man that although he was close to crumbling, he stuck it out and showed his experience and joy. But it was nice to experience that. And now I have a chance to go back in and use what I have learned from that. Use my experience gained from that fight and go at it again. So I'm very, very excited for this fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. The last one was a hell of a fight. We went in there, we stood toe to toe. You know, the fans are in for a treat, but make no mistake, my hand will be raised.
Thank you very much.
Next up from the Los Angeles Times, Lance Pugmire.
Hey guys, hey. Connor, first of all, for you, I know Dana has said that he wants you, after this fight, to return to featherweight against Aldo. Will you do that?
You know, I haven't really spoken about it to anyone about what's next. Who knows what's next? Right now, we're 15 days away from a war, and I'm ready for the war. So, that's all I'm thinking of right now. Let's have this war. You know, he's been talking about full camp, I only had 10 days to prepare. If I had a full camp, he wouldn't even have hit me. Well, let's see what that's about. You know what I mean? Let's see what all that's about. So, I'm looking forward to going in there and having this fight with this man. It's something I'm really, really looking forward to, and fuck everything else. I mean, to see Aldo come back and win that fight against Frankie, I was happy for Aldo. You know, when you see a long-time champion get knocked out like that, the way I knocked him out, you know, I said it then. I felt sorry for him a little bit, you know. So, and then on top of that, Frankie's team, they were all talking shit. That fat coach that holds Mitch, he was talking a lot. He's still talking shit. So, that was why I was there. I wanted to see if this motherfucker comes through this and can do what he's saying. Well then it's on. But now Aldo's at the taking that belt again. So, I was scheduled to fight Aldo many times. We had like a 2-year media run. I spent so much time with that man, and then he pulled out, and then we finally got into it, and it took me one shot to the crown to shut his lights out. And so I don't know what I'm thinking. Right now I'm prepared for a war, and that's it. 15 days. Let's fucking bring it.
How do you know that you've effectively bridged that gap, you know, to deal with the extra weight, the extra power that you'll need, and
well, I've brought in middleweights to prepare for me. You know, there's a reason why I'm sparring middleweights every goddamn day, and he's sparring flyweights. We're preparing for different style opponents. He's preparing for the lighter, faster guy, and I'm preparing for the heavier, slower man. I can take a smack, and that's it. I mean, we'll find out in the night, but I've put in the work. I've put in the work so hard for this one. I've got rounds on the mat, in the cage, in the ring. And I've been in the trenches since March 5th, since that last one. I've been hustling since that last one, so. And I didn't let nothing break it. Nothing. There was a lot of pressure on me to come do the 200 one. Even though the main and the co-main of that UFC 200 weren't even at the thing that they were asking me to be at. So I didn't let nothing interrupt my preparation, and that's it. I've been prepared for this one. I've been preparing for this one since March 5th, since that very night where I lost that last match.
Great. Thank you, Connor. And Nate, I just wanted to ask you, it sounded like things got pretty ugly when you were first negotiating for this fight with Dana. How close did it come to the fight not happening?
I just know that they wanted it to happen. They needed it to happen, so I didn't have no thoughts it wasn't going to happen. So it's told them what I wanted, and it worked out.
I taught the kid well. I taught him well. Fair play. Get that money, brother.
I was going to get that money regardless.
Just have a bit of respect. I taught you well. You were on 20 and 20. Now you're talking the big money, so have respect for that.
Did it feel good, Nate, to be in that position of strength, knowing that the UFC and that Connor too wanted this fight, and that you really, kind of held the chips in your corner there?
That what?
Did it feel good, kind of knowing that everyone involved wanted to see this fight so badly that you really had a lot of chips in your corner to say, look, I want the right deal?
Yeah, well, I knew that's what they wanted, what was going to happen, and I wasn't asking for nothing, so yeah.
Next up, we'll hear from Chris Matthews, KLAS TV.
Yeah, hello, guys. Appreciate that. I was just going to ask, Connor, looking back on that March fight, going in there and taking those blows, delivering some blows, but taking those and now sparring with these bigger guys, kind of take me through what it seems obvious, but kind of take me through how that's going to help you in 2 weeks, in 15 days.
Like I said, if I spar a guy in my own division or my own weight, they crumble. So sparring these heavier guys, sticking on the big gloves, going into the small enclosures and letting the shots fly. The bigger guy stays there. But the smaller guy isn't there no more. So I've just had countless rounds and countless hours of people not going away. So that's it.
What do you anticipate learning from this rematch with Nate in the octagon?
I don't know what I don't know. I'm going in to win. That's it.
Nate, let me ask you a couple.
We'll figure that out after the fight.
Nate, let me ask you when you got Conor down and he tapped. Are you surprised at how quick that went, or?
No, it was a fight. It was just kind of happening how it was happening. I was surprised that he wouldn't. A lot of fighters quit. Put them in that guillotine and they're done. They stay on top and they get finished. I could tell he was trying to stay in there. He went to his back, what a lot of fighters don't do. So that's one thing that he didn't give up. But there was nowhere to go. So no, it was time. It was how it happened. It was what happened.
Conor's preparing for this fight, sparring bigger guys.
I'd like to see you in there, my friend. Yeah, talking about quick tap.
Oh, I would have been knocked out in the first round in 7 seconds. But I was just wondering. It seemed like it was over quick.
I mean, when you turned and the shots are landed, I escaped. That gilly was close. I rolled out. He caught me well. He went into mount, and then when I tried to bridge and roll, I tried to get that knee in the middle, and then I turned too much, and he sprawled me out. You know, I hear like people talking shit about that, but fuck people. You know what I mean? I come in to fight, and that's it. People can say what the fuck they want.
Were you surprised? Was it because of the bigger weight? I mean, normally if you'd have been fighting,
I didn't feel his weight. I didn't feel his weight anywhere until that moment. Until when he sprawled. When I went to turn away from mount to try and get my knee back or try and regain guard or something, he sprawled me out right at the right time, and that was it. It was like you said, it was done at that stage. But fuck it.
Yeah,
I'll take that one on the chin. And I'll come back, and here we are, 15 days. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was wondering if because it was because I was wondering if you would have been able to get out of that, perhaps if it would have been a lighter guy, but because of the size, it's just the way it happened to happen.
I'm backpedal now.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is *1 if you have a question today. Next up is Chamathkar Sandhu, MMAJunkie.com.
Conor, I just want to ask you something. Will a win over Nate this time be enough for you? Obviously, it will kind of make the series, so to speak, 1-1. And given the metrics and the business that you've been able to generate with the guy, would you consider an immediate rematch should you win and set up a trilogy fight?
100%. Of course. Maybe not straight away, but most certainly this will be a trilogy fight. Me and the boy have something, and it ain't finished yet.
Nate, same question to you. If you can't get the job done at UFC 202, would you like an immediate rematch and set up a trilogy fight with Conor?
Who wouldn't want a rematch with somebody who beat him?
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Next up is Mark Raimondi, SB Nation. Mark, your line is open. Do you have a question?
Don't be scared, Mark.
Hello?
Right.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go, Mark. There you are. You're live.
Sorry about that. Conor, I just wanted to ask you, you see Nate, he's going on these late-night TV shows, he's doing a lot of press. What do you think of that? What's your opinion of how he's doing it and why he's doing that?
I mean, I know it's something he's always wanted to be doing. I wonder how he's feeling doing it, because I know it ain't easy doing all that. It certainly takes from what we are and what we do. As much as maybe people don't realize it, it is very distracting. But I'm happy to see him up there doing his thing. You know what I mean? He's doing well, I think, up there. I came in and gave him a little help out on the corner, and he stood for an album. So, but I thought the Kimmel one was pretty funny. Look, we deserve everything. We go in and put it on the line more so than any human being on the planet. So, and that's for all your entertainment. So we deserve to be on all of this. We deserve our name and lights. We deserve absolutely everything for what we do here. You know, uneducated people and people who could never even lace up a glove can come up and talk about what we do and what we should have done or what we should not have done. But again, there are people that could not even touch us, not even hold our spit bucket. So I'm happy to see it.
Connor, you said at the launch event for your coach John Kavanaugh's book that there was still some push and pull going on with you and the UFC over how much promotion, how much media they wanted you to do compared to how much you wanted to do. Where is that at right now? I got a message today saying we got to do some more. We got to do this, we got to do that. But how can I? What I'm doing right now, I've created a media empire. I'm at the foot of a media empire with this Mac Life thing I've created here. The content that I'm releasing daily. I'm releasing these embedded style movies quicker than embedded. You know what I mean? So what more? You know what I mean? I'm doing so much. Although I'm training. I'm doing. It's on my own clock. I'm still a workhorse in the promotion side of things. As you can see, I'm in the news every day. I run the news now. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So I create my own content. I'm in control of everything I do now, and that's the way it should be. If you look at the sale of the UFC, one of the reasons they got the $4 billion was because they owned all their own content. All that content was theirs, it was nobody else's. So that's what I'm at now. I'm creating my own content. I'm saying I can do my own setup here. I can promote this from where I'm sitting. I don't got to travel and go on to some talk show where someone doesn't even know nothing about the sport. You know what I mean? I can reach audiences and reach my fans and do what I'm doing from where I'm standing. So that's a powerful play, and it's a play that I've done. You see all these fighters and they're all sharing these. They're getting like a little. They must be getting like a wage or something off these little clickbait sites and all this. You know what I mean? And fair play to them, get that money where they can. But I went one better and I created my own empire. You know what I mean? I honestly feel like we're in a new age here. With the media game, everything's changing here with this online social media stuff. So I'm capitalizing on it. And I'm right at the top of it now. And as you can see with the numbers are going good. All those videos I've been producing are like 6 million views almost. I think I'm at right now, and that's no push. That's all organic. I'm a promotion machine, and I'm only starting. We're only on day one, really. I've only set the thing up a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago or something. And who else can do that? I see Nate, fair play to Nate. He's setting up that little Road to War now and saying that's his T-shirt sponsor. Some guy's paying him to wear T-shirts, and then he's probably, as part of the deal, is asking him, can he follow him around with a camera, and they're making these stupid little videos from it. And they're not the best videos, but he's trying something, so I got to give respect to that. But know the Don when you see the Don, and I'm the Don here. I'm running the whole damn thing, so that's where I'm at with the promotional situation. I said I wanted to do I wanted to disengage from what they were asking, from some of what they're asking, not all of it, but I didn't just do it and turn my back and say, fuck this. You know what I mean? I went and done something else. I created my own setup. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that right now. Thanks, Connor. And just for Nate, is Connor correct? Is the late night talk show kind of stuff, is that what you've always wanted to do? And are you comfortable in those situations?
No, it's not like somewhere I was like losing sleep over trying to get into. But when they call in an opportunity to them, you might as well take them because it's going to build your brand, all that stuff. The marketing gets bigger, so you have to. I didn't want to really do none of it, but I didn't want to look back and say, "Fuck, I should have done that." So I'm just doing what I got to do to get by and get my things cracking, get my things going.
Gotcha. Nate, you tweeted something last week. I think it was after your appearance on Conan, something about the UFC punked you or the UFC played you. Everyone was kind of freaking out about that tweet. What was that about?
No, just some behind-the-scenes stuff that they were not telling me about and then hide it from me and then telling me that they had me doing a little runaround. I was just trying to get home and train. I didn't even want to be out there for that long. And it all worked out, though. I had training out there, and it was just, like you said, it's a distraction. You're out there, you're like, fuck this shit. That stuff's all good and fine after a fight, but before the fight, it's like I'm not in the mood to be sitting here and asking silly-ass questions and play silly-ass little sketches and roles when I got serious shit going on. But But it all got worked out and everything's all good.
Cool. Thank you guys so much.
And our final question today comes from Jim Edwards, Flow Combat.
Yeah, good evening, guys. The first question's for Conor. Conor, the facts are the facts. You've been tested 14 times now by USADA, and that's significantly more than any other fighter in the UFC at the moment. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Right now I'm out in Las Vegas, so I imagine that's handy for them. But back to back I was tested. One day Nevada Athletic Commission came, and then the next day USADA came. As you can see on the MacLife videos, I give you exclusive footage of what that process is, and you know I'm happy to be tested. You know, you see these. It is. I mean, the boy is not far wrong. I mean, they fucking all are on steroids, so it is fucked up. I mean, the co-main and the main were on at 200. I mean, that's messed up to me, to be honest. So I don't even. I don't know. I'm happy to be tested, and I hope Nate's being tested, because I know, although Nate tried to throw an accusation at me, it's his teammates that have been caught before, and so I just hope he's been tested as much as I'm being tested. But I am happy to be tested. I never kick up a fuss. I never do an Aldo and throw the piss over my shoulder and ring the police like he done in Brazil. I welcome them in. I do the test, and then on they go, and that's it. It's a good thing for the sport. That's all I know. So I'm happy to be tested.
I believe the records show that Nate's been tested 8 times. Is that what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's 6 less than me. I mean, when was he tested? Was he tested this camp? I don't know. I haven't heard nothing. I know the Nevada guy was saying he's heading there now. So I don't know. I mean, all I know is I'm being tested, and that's it.
Good stuff, good stuff. Obviously, you were there at UFC 200. Obviously, now coming up to UFC 202, do you reckon that's going to surpass 200 in terms of the amount of media attention it gets and potential pay-per-view buys?
Well, I do hold every record in the book, so you tell me. This fight is going to be one hell of a fight. The numbers will represent that, but the fight will be a spectacular contest. I'm confident. I'll smash my own records once again.
I'm sure you will do. Question for Kate. No, a question for Nate even. Nate, a boxing coach, Ricky Funes, was saying a few days ago that you're walking around at 200 pounds. Is that true?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Nate, obviously, you've been saying for years, man, that you deserve the money, you deserve the big fights. Obviously, you're getting all that now, and you know you're getting all this mainstream media attention. Is it all it's cracked up to be? Is it what you thought you'd be getting yourself into?
Like, I'm not, like, this guy talks about all these fighters like they're fucking dumb, and he's right. They're all fucking dumb. I'm not one of those guys who just sat around here fucking, like, taking contracts. I've been bitching about my contract for the last 6 years. I've been, like, going through hell and telling, so I knew I was going to get mine when it was time to get mine, and I was going to get what I was going to get regardless, and I had a plan to do it. And it's not thanks to Conor that I got all of it. But I'm gonna say that it was a shortcut. But if I was stupid, I wouldn't have got to where I'm at. I did what I had to do. I got that fight with Johnson. I plotted him out, and I got my shit done. And then they plotted back and got me on the 10-day notice, and it worked out still regardless. But I asked for the fight. I said I wanted to fight. I got the fight, so I'm gonna take the fight. So it's like. I feel I'm in the position I'm in because I put myself in this position, and it's not great. It's not horrible. It's fucking what it is. So that's my take on the whole situation. And so I wasn't following the leader on making some money here. I was gonna get my money regardless, and I was gonna get where I'm at regardless. But I'm gonna say that he was a shortcut.
All right.
Thank you, Nate. That will conclude today's UFC 202 media conference call, UFC 202 from the T-Mobile Arena, Saturday, August 20th, live on pay-per-view. Thanks to Nate and Connor. And just a reminder, folks, tomorrow, UFC Fight Night from Salt Lake City, Utah, as Yair Rodriguez takes on Alex Caceres. That card is live on Fox Sports 1. The main card starts at 10 p.m. in the East, 7 in the West. We'll see everybody soon. Have a great weekend, and thanks for your time today.
Again, that does conclude today's program. Thank you all for your participation.